Today I'm going to talk about planned obsolescence. Hello everyone, my name is Harmony. If you're a new viewer, welcome, or if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I talk about anything that springs to mind and is worth contemplating and discussing. The thing I thought I would talk about in this video is planned obsolescence. So, it's commonly said that the light bulb is the first thing that was the start, if you will, of planned obsolescence. But actually, you can go back further than that, because it was the pocket watch that started this whole thing. Sorry, autumn is in a don't know what I want to read. Autumn, hey. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, the pocket watch originally, I can't remember who it was now, but there's a documentary that I saw about this, which I will try to link in the description. Autumn is he's pecking his cage and doing all that, and probably bobbing his head. What is it, Autumn? Hey. Hey, Autumn. Can you be quiet, please? I'm trying to film a video and talk. Thank you. Good boy. Right. Yes, so originally the pocket watch was one of those really cool pieces of equipment that you could apparently take to pieces, put it back together, like really easy. So if something broke on it, you could just replace that appropriate particular part. And this one guy took a pocket watch to pieces and put it back together, and it just stayed working, which was amazing. But then somebody decided to make a pocket watch that you could not very easily take to pieces and put back together. So, of course, that meant replacing the whole watch. That went through several iterations until people started using more wristwatches rather than pocket watches. And then, of course, now if your wristwatch breaks, it's all a sealed unit. So unless you have the appropriate screwdriver set to do it, you can't really do any more than, well, you can't even replace the battery unless you've got one of those watchmakers toolkits with the really minuscule screwdrivers and those kind of things. And somewhere along the line, one of the companies decided that, oh, let's make watches so cheap that it's actually cheaper to buy a new watch than it would be to send the watch in and have it repaired. So that was what happened, and then people had all these really watches just laying around because they didn't bother getting them repaired because it was so cheap to replace them. And of course the watches were really bad quality apparently, or just not very good quality and didn't last and had so many faults. And then of course we have the famous light bulb. Again, somewhere elsewhere on YouTube there is a light bulb documentary, like not necessarily a light bulb documentary, but a documentary that shows this 200-year-old light bulb, and they have a clip of kind of amusing actually, but they have a clip of these people that turned up at the fire station where the light bulb is, and they're singing happy birthday to the light bulb for being 200 years old. And oi, I know Wharton, but there's nothing I can do about people moving in and out of the shop next door. Shush. Shush. Ow. Autumn, can you be quiet, please? Yeah. So, yo. Good. Thank you. Oh dear, I don't know. Right. Anyway. Yeah, so many people know the story of the light bulb a bit better, in that they were originally made to last and last and last, like well over 2,000 hours, 2,500 or something like that. And somebody somewhere again decided that it would not be very good for business because yes, there were new customers because of course new people bought houses and everything, or rented houses or whatever, but there weren't as many customers as they would like, and the companies were essentially losing money. So they decided that, we're going to intentionally make bulbs that burn brighter, but they don't last as long. So that was what they did, and then followed other products, like everything from stockings to cars. And yeah, so now we get situations where if you buy a computer today, especially a laptop, or if you buy a mobile phone as of the last 5-10 years at least, they're all sealed units. And even if you buy a desktop, a lot of things come now on the motherboard, so you can't decide that you don't want anything on the motherboard and you just want to put things on yourself. A lot of them now come with things pre-installed on the motherboard, so you're more limited as to what you can put even on those. With computers like laptops and mobile phones, as I say, nearly all of those are sealed units, which drives me absolutely mad because you can't even replace the batteries anymore. Like, the batteries used to be user replaceable, and you used to be able to get this, like, get the appropriate screws and open up the phone and or the laptop even. Phones are a lot harder, but you used to be able to open up the laptop and replace the appropriate parts if you feel like dealing with small tiny form factors. But now even if you do that, you can't, well, you can't really, because they're all sealed, and some of them you can't even see the screws on to open the units up, which is an intentional design thing, obviously, because they do that so that you have to buy a new product or send it back to the manufacturer to get it repaired at a significant cost. And so they intentionally make things harder to repair and make it cheaper to replace them. And they also now make it such where you don't get anything really on board anymore on the computer. So I miss the days where you used to get a CD drive, a floppy drive. Actually, some of the computers, when USB things first came out, also used to have a few USB ports lurking around and a SD card slot and all kinds of things, all kinds of ports basically. I miss those computers because now they're like, oh, nobody uses floppy disks anymore. Maybe, but personally I like floppy disks because if you've got documents on them, or you have, you don't need that much to store, say, a load of text documents or whatever. And then you get the whole, oh, nobody uses CDs and DVDs anymore, everything's all downloaded or streamed on insert streaming service here. That might be so, but actually I really like having the actual copies around sometimes, because if the internet goes down, well, I still want to be able to watch it, thank you. And I borrowed a laptop for school one year, back in 2005, I think it was, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever, because at that point I was still using floppy disks, but I had also just got a memory stick, one of those USB ones, the USB one that looks like a highlighter pen. I'd been given one of those, and I'd also bought one from the it's cool, a different one. And so it could take those, but the thing I really loved about it is that you could swap out the drives. So you could swap out the CD DVD drive for the floppy drive or vice versa. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, because if you wanted to watch a DVD on it, you could, or if you wanted to do your work and put things on floppy disks, you could do that too. Like, yeah, that's one of the most productive machines ever. You don't even get those anymore, sadly. Does anyone know what make those machines were, by the way, those laptops? Because I don't know, to me at the time it was just a computer. And I've noticed that since everything's being forced into using technology, and technology's become arguably less productive and less customizable. I've really been enjoying it less, because there was a time when I used to be getting things for the computer or changing something out or doing something to make it better, but now I'm just like, what's the point? I might as well, you could only really, in some cases, I was looking at desktop computers recently, and actually now, in some cases what you've got to do is pre-decide that you want to upgrade the say the hard drive or the RAM or the processor, whatever it is. You've got to pre-decide that and have it done for you and buy it at the upgrade price, which is infuriating because you don't know what the future's going to hold. So of course they're deliberately skewing things so that they're not exactly future proof. So then they're trying to make it so that you have to buy another product. Now, personally, I cannot stand planned obsolescence. For example, you buy your mobile phone or your vacuum cleaner or whatever the item is, and it is only, the warranty on anything you buy now is only a year normally. Sometimes you get 2 years, but has anyone noticed how anything you buy lasts well for just after the point where the warranty cuts off, and then when you phone up and need to get the thing repaired a couple of years down the line after buying it, then oh, you're just outside the warranty, so now you have to pay this much to get it fixed and so on. And I'm like, but yeah, no. And of course, life cycles of products now are such where then make it so that, again, if you buy, I don't know, a phone, you can, the contract on those things lasts 2 or 3 years, and then even if the thing still works fine, which it probably will, by the way, advertising and the companies themselves have released so many new versions by then that yours is deemed decidedly obsolete, because you don't have the latest version of, I don't know, iPhone or Samsung Galaxy or Google Pixel or whatever the phone is, or whatever the computer is, or product in general actually. Even if you buy a piece of furniture or a piece of clothing, after some time, even these things are not deemed to be fashionable anymore, or not deemed to look as nice, which I argue with, because they're there to serve a purpose as well as just look good. But has anyone noticed as well, of course, that things are intentionally made to not last? So you have to keep buying a new furniture or a new clothes or whatever it is. I mean, personally I prefer to repair my clothes, but a lot of people just have this throwaway mentality. Throw it away and buy a new one. So I actually, if I had a choice, I would prefer to buy something that's older than to buy, say, a new desk or a new sofa or whatever the thing is, because chances are the older stuff is actually going to last longer, and already has lasted longer, than many of the newer products. Well, how many flat pack furnitures have you seen that are so flimsy that they just fall apart and break, or whatever it is? In fact, I've had flat pack furniture that has broken while I've been trying to build it. Well, say build it, like put it together. Because they're made of such cheap materials that the wood or ply or whatever it is, that stuff that's got veneer over it, so you can't even feel the grain for the most part, that if it gets any kind of strain on it, it splits really ridiculously easily. Yes, there are some woods that do naturally do that, but not when you're trying to put a piece of furniture together. So even if you buy a computer chair, you don't get the thing pre-assembled anymore. You have to actually put the thing together. Or you used to be able to buy a new desk or a new, I don't know, telephone seat or whatever it is, and those would come in good quality wood and very durable, and they would last decades. But now um, well, you don't know how long the thing's going to last, and with especially flat pack furniture, all you've got to do is put a screw slightly wrong, or not hold something straight, and the whole thing's wobbly. And therefore the whole thing just goes and falls down. Or you spend forever like trying to figure out where things go, and then wondering why you have more holes than necessary, or more bolts or screws or whatever than necessary. In short, I absolutely cannot stand planned obsolescence, because obviously things are, as it says, planned to be obsolete, or at least be seen to be obsolete within a very short time, and I'm not playing. Because my thing is, let's make something last as long as possible, and if that means repairing whatever the item is, or having it repaired someplace, great. And thankfully there are still places that do repair, say, phones and replace the appropriate parts and whatever, or that do repair your fridge freezer or something for a bit cheaper than it would be to get a new product. Although sadly the seamstress near where I live, her shop is now closed, I guess because she was not getting enough business either. But yeah, I think if people appreciated what they have and did whatever they could to make things last and pushed back against it, obsolescence would be in and of itself obsolete, or at least planned obsolescence would. Anyway, after all that yammering and talk, what do you guys think? Feel free to comment away and let's have a discussion about this. And otherwise, feel free to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see you all in the next video.